Welcome, welcome! It's Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy bringing you another Star Citizen video. And today I bring you IAE Day 8, right? Is this Day 8? MISC. Musashi Industrial Starflight and Concern-ish. Something along those lines. So, this is MISC Day, November 25th at the IAE. And yes, I know this is coming pretty late for you guys. I worked a good 14-hour day today, so I'm a bit pooped, but I'm going to try to get this video out for you guys before midnight anyways. So, here we go. Let's start off with the first ship that comes up to sell, at least when I pull up the page, and that is the MISC Endeavor. The Endeavor, oh boy. This ship itself, there's a lot to it, guys. It's more than just a ship. It is a fully modular ship. So you can get different modules for it. You can get the Endeavor Biome Pod. You can get the Collider Pod. Now, if you want to know what these do, we can pull up each one of them as well. But the Endeavor is just a conglomeration of different modules you can do to do different things in the game. Like, take the Collider Pod here. You're going to be able to, I guess, pump up or make weapons more powerful, possibly, or engines better. I mean, it's the possibility to improve things with the Collider. The Biome is going to let you be able to grow food or different plant stuff or food stuff, and you can sell it for a profit out in space. So, I mean, they're all going to have something different and cool to them. We also have the Crew Pod, which you can get more people in the crew. You get science, service equipment, and Crew Pod, the General Research Pod, the Fuel Pod. I mean, you've got a landing pod, which, I mean, that's almost a must-have on this thing, but supposedly it'll be able to support plenty of, like, smaller ships up to cutting size. I have the Endeavor Hope class, which I'll get into that here in a moment. But you also have the Med Pod, which if you have the Hope class, you get both of these already on the ship. Then you have the Research Pod, Science Pod, the Telescope Pod. That's for exploration. You could go down here and get stuff in the Dominus Pack or even the Praetorian Pack if you have the cash. I don't think they offer this in the specific versions of the Endeavor, like the Hope class and all that at the moment. So, you may be stuck with just the base Endeavor and then buying the pods that you want to go on it, the modules you want to go on it. Now, you can also upgrade into this ship, which could be pretty interesting. Let's see, what ship could I take and upgrade in this that's kind of a higher dollar ship? Let's see. Or the highest dollar. Let's see, my Caterpillar Pirate Edition. No, I'm not going to do that. I like the Caterpillar. Redeemer, definitely not going to do that. Mole, nope, not going to do that. Aquila. Now, that is a good possibility for me to upgrade to an Endeavor, though I do have an Endeavor already. So, there's some possibility there. I'm not going to take and upgrade any of these others. Yeah, maybe the Aquila. I don't know. I'm not going to do it right now, but the Endeavor is a truly versatile ship, one of the most versatile out there, though it is not going to be intended for any kind of combat whatsoever. I can tell you, this ship here will probably make more money than any other ship in the game, or at least come close to the heights of maybe the Orion. The Orion will probably make the most money. Well, I take it back. The whole E will make the most money. We'll get there eventually as well. But yeah, the Endeavor, a hugely versatile ship. The Expanse, this is the new one. It's a refinery ship, $150. You're going to be able to go out there with people's moles and prospectors, and they're going to be able to drop the pods off. You're going to pick them up, refine their material, and, take it off to, or dump it off for a cargo ship to come pick up and take to market. So, going to be a must-have at any mining vessels that you have out there, or with any mining vessels. Then you have the Freelancer, $110 for this old steady ship. This is one of the best ships for a 1 to 4 person crew. You know, $110 easily manageable for 4 people to come up with. I think this could be a really great ship for a small crew, though. I think Constellation may be a little better as far as you know, for 4 people, but Freelancer is definitely not a bad way to go. It's kind of like it's not a master of any trade, and it's not exactly a jack of all, but it has good weaponry, horrible view, but it also has cargo capability as well. So you know, it's got some decent stuff about it. Then you can go to the Freelancer Dur, which is the exploration model, and then the Freelancer Max, which is all cargo. Like, it's got a much bigger backspace area here, cargo area for extra cargo. Good value, $150, but you know, it depends on what you want to do in the verse. And then the Freelancer MISC, which is the gunship variant. A lot of fun. This thing has a ton of missiles. Supposedly has good armor. You know, it's not a bad ship. It really isn't. $175 for that one. And then we move on to the Hull series. We have the Hull A, which is kind of an entry-level hauler, at least with external cargo containers. $90 for the Hull A. Hull B is $50 more at $140. It's quite a bit bigger than the Hull A. It can carry more cargo for sure. Hull A is the only one in the game that we can fly right now, but these others will come in the game as, you know, the gameplay loop calls for it. Because the next one, the Hull C, has been being worked on for like 5 years now. This thing's been ready, guys. It's been ready. It's waiting for a good use of it. If we used it in the Stanton system right now, the economy would implode. This thing can carry so much cargo that it's really going to change an economy overnight. Like, I mean, you know, there's only so much aluminum or whatever that a company needs. I would like to see contracts that, you know, say, hey, for such and such amount, you know, I want you to take this from one station to another, rather than you having to buy all the cargo yourself and transporting it, though that would be more lucrative. I hope we get the other contracts as well. $350 for a Hull C. It's a big ship, guys, with a lot of cargo capacity. You want to talk big? Let's go Hull D. Hull D, $450, and it's got way more cargo capacity than the Hull C, like way more. We're talking, we're getting into ridiculous amounts now. And then if you want to go even more ridiculous, let's go with the Hull E. The Hull E is a super freighter, the ultimate super freighter. And this thing is massive. We're talking, you know, the size of a freaking javelin, you know, or bigger. 98,304 SCU on to the blades, the cargo blades. That is a lot, guys. That's a lot of SCU. A whole lot of SCU. That's a lot of money you can make using this ship. But it is hull limited. You can only buy, you know, there's a limited amount of these. Right now, $750. You can get your hands on the Hull E. I think these things are going to make lots of money for a lot of orgs out there. Let me know if you disagree in the comments down below, or if you agree. Now, one of my favorite new ships in the last year is this Odyssey. This is an advanced exploration ship. So we saw earlier in the week the Anvil Carrack, and I said that's pretty much the end-all be-all of exploration. But I did say there was one other, and that's this Odyssey. So the Odyssey is a pretty unique ship in that it's very self-sustainable. So the Carrack, while it has plenty of cargo pods for food stores, repairs, etc., it has drones, can make repairs, it does have somewhat of a limited time out in space. I mean, eventually you're going to have to find food or fuel or whatever. Whereas the Odyssey can make its own fuel. So it will have the capability of staying out in space a little longer than a Carrack will. Plus it can carry a full-size fighter in it, whereas the Carrack is mostly chopped down to, you know, the Pisces or a smaller fighter. I don't know. I love the Carrack. I'm still a big fan of the Carrack, but I'm a big fan of this Odyssey as well. And I can't wait till we get to see it in-game to kind of walk around and check it out. I think it's going to be a fun ship. Then we have the Prospector. Good bang for the buck. $155. You can make a ton of money with this thing. If you want to be a miner, if you want to mine in the verse, it's a great way to make money. And there's a lot of call for it. There's going to be a lot of places to do it. So I would definitely pick up a Prospector, especially if it's just you. The Mole is too much for one person, but the Prospector, perfect. Perfect for one person. And you can also upgrade into the Prospector today. Then we have the MISC Razor. The MISC Razor is a racer, $145. This thing is kind of like a Formula One car for space. It's pretty good, straight lines, turns, etc. It's right up there with some of the better ships like the M50 and the 350R when it comes to racing. So definitely one you would want to get if you were a racer. Now, if you're not a racer but you like the design, you can get the stealth version for the Razor X. Now, this thing is going to be great for recon and, doing things quietly under the books, under the radar, so to speak, and off the books. And you'll be able to sneak in and get out because it's fast as well. So definitely one to get if you're into the stealth gameplay and you want to be kind of a recon expert. And then we have, I guess, a better version of the regular Razor, kind of a drag racer is what it's saying, a dedicated dragster. The Razor LX. I don't know how this thing is as far as compared to the 350 in a straight line. I haven't compared them in a long time. And of course, the flight mechanics are going to change as well. So we'll have to wait to find out how effective it really is. Or how fast it really is in comparison to the others. They're all going to have attributes that make them better than something else in the racing field. We just have to wait and see. Excuse me. Sneeze there. Then we have the Reliant Core. Now, the Reliant is the entry-level ship for MISC. And this has a combination of Xi'an tech and human technology. MISC is very much a proponent of getting with their Xi'an allies and combining some of their knowledge. And this was one of the first projects to enjoy the fruit of that labor. So the Core is just a small little light freighter. It's a two-person ship. You can do it with one person. The ship can fly in this horizontal or this vertical way. If it's vertical, you got one person sitting above the other. The cockpit, this whole ship will rotate around the cockpit. So it's kind of cool. $65 for the Reliant Core, $95 for the Reliant Mako, which is a news van. Yeah, you heard me right. It's a news van. It's the only one in the game that we know of so far. It just captures the news. That's its whole purpose. You watch racing or, battle go down. You can capture all sorts of footage, and supposedly at one point we'll be able to show that live to the rest of the verse. But we'll have to wait and see when that technology is in the game. $85, you have the Reliant Sin, which is a scientific vessel. Probably the cheapest scientific vessel that you'll be able to get. If you're into science, this may be a great starter ship for you. And then we'll move on to the Reliant Tana, which is very much a light fighter. And, it can be pretty rugged and durable. It does have a big silhouette, which is a negative for it. But it has some pretty good weaponry on it as well. So I wouldn't necessarily rule this one out at $75. It can be a pretty good ship to have. Now we move on to the Starfarer, the granddaddy of refueling ships. So you'll be able to get fuel in the game. You'll scoop it in, you'll refine it, and then you can sell the fuel either at space stations, landing zones, or you can sell it on the fly. It's got a little fuel scoop that'll drop down and you can refuel ships out in the middle of space. And that is actually working in the game right now. Fantastic ship for you guys who were wanting to make a living doing something like capturing fuel and refining it and selling it. $300, probably a bargain for this ship. Every fleet's going to need multiples of these. My fleet, my org, TexasSpaceNavy, definitely going to need a few of these to stay in operation, especially when we get further off from Civilization. These are going to be a must-have. If you want the more armored up version, the military spec version, you'll have to get the Starfarer Gemini at $340. I think I have a buyback version of this one at like $250. But this one has more armor, and it trades out the fuel scoop in the front for missile pods. Now, it doesn't have to, but that's an option you can do. I personally, if I got this, I would not trade out the missile pods, or I would not put the missile pods up there. I would keep the fuel scoop and use it that way. But this thing is going to be an armored beast version of the regular Starfarer. And, we'll have to see when armor's in the game how much of a difference there is between the two. I can tell you this thing hits harder than the regular Starfarer. But if you're out there by yourself, there's a problem. You should always have an escort when you are in a Starfarer. But it does have a lot of turrets, so you should be able to do some damage too. That's it for MISC. I hope you guys enjoyed the MISC sale. Maybe let me know down below if there are any ships you decide you want to pick up. As you can see, the MISC Complete Pack, $43.50 on Warbond or $48.50 with credits. And then, of course, you can get the MISC Gear Pack or the Celebration Gear Pack as well. And then Jax McCleary has a new video out. He gets stranded in Pyro at Ruin Station. A lot of fun this last video, so definitely check that out. I appreciate everybody tuning in. And again, I'm sorry this one's so late coming out. Tomorrow's will probably be late as well. It's a big day. RSI is coming out tomorrow. We've got the Galaxy coming out. So hopefully we'll have a lot of information about that one. Still waiting to see what the price is going to be. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below if you have any guesses as to what the price on the Galaxy is going to be. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you out in the verse.